What unexpected side effect of a popular technology took society by surprise, in your opinion? Air conditioning was invented for industry. When it was shrunk down enough, so that it was small enough and affordable enough for home use, the Sunbelt is born. It was really nice before people knew how to get a hold of me and didn't expect me to respond quickly. 100 How fast Juuls were adopted by teens, resulting in a huge amount of kids vaping nicotine. It was just so sleek and accessible compared to the type of vaping where you had to build your own coils and find flavors in a shop. Insane. I remember Juuls were supposed to be the liaison between being a smoker and quitting smoking. Instead, it just introduced an entire generation to nicotine addiction at a young age. Social media turned into a tool for spreading political lies. Clocks. Spring-driven clocks were meant to be ornamental table clocks, and then it was realized that we can finally navigate latitude, sunstars, and longitude clocks for ships sailing long distances. Pendulum and sand clocks just couldn't be accurate on a ship at all. So in the 1500s away we went, surprised we could do that. Old people addicted to smartphones. Early on, it was younger people the old people would complain about. Now it's the opposite. Texting. 30 years ago the dream was video calling. No one would have predicted that glorified Morse code would be the de facto communication style in 2024. I think the quality of popular music declined greatly when everyone could get easy access to music-making software. But ultimately, it's a good thing and provided a creative outlet to millions. Cameras on phones. I don't think anyone was prepared for the shitstorm that brought upon us. The train created time zones. Link hits www.bts.gov geospatial time zones. Smartphones and social media have absolutely wrecked relationships. You can see the correlation in graphs of when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone 2007, partner sexual relationships starting to plummet and virginity rates rising. Crazy that even in some places it has reached historic lows. Last time it was like this in modern times was during the AIDS scare in the 80s. The internet was supposed to unite people. The invention of VHS and the avalanche of accessible super dirty porn. I was 13 when I accidentally found a black tape from high up in a walk-in closet, and the girl in the first scene showed me for the first time someone who can put their feet behind their head. My entire body drained of blood to one specific point. I may have experienced arrhythmia. The erection almost slew the whole front of my jeans in one swift motion, and if my chest had been a cannon, I would have bucked my heart at the TV. Not a side effect, but Instagram as a whole changed how people view their lives now, especially those who follow celebrity and pop culture. Originally, cell phones were all about calling and very expensive chargers per minute, per call. All of a sudden texting took over and phone companies started charging for that, and data was an add-on with unlimited calling. Finally, data took over and companies were focused on that data plans. Unlimited texting and calling. Charges shifted based on trends, or did trends change based on changes? The internet has made it way easier to spread misinformation, disinformation. Back in the idea, people seemed to honestly argue that the truth would always win. Social media leading to both Revolution Arab Spring and Insurrection Jan. 6, 2021. The decoupling of sex and reproduction with the introduction of hormonal birth control in the 50s-60s. The sex drive is one of the strongest things in any animal, and is a proxy for the drive to reproduce. For the first time in the history of life on Earth, we separated that indelible connection. I think all of human society is still reeling from that to some point. All of our cultures had spent thousands of years adapting to the rules of sex and reproduction, and those all changed. Things that would have been horrific to allow whole-scale in a world where sex is unavoidably linked to reproduction, are now completely harmless. The things that motivate our relationships and the relative cost-benefit of them and their consequences all changed. You see this everywhere in all the conflict between the sexes and confusion over what the rules are and what the roles are. I suspect it will be hundreds of years more before this all settles down into a new normal. Once globally we've incorporated the new reality we live in. One of the things I hate in modern times is how, because of smartphones and people trying to use them while driving, it makes traffic worse because there's often times when a traffic light changes from red to green, but someone doesn't go because they weren't paying attention. Speakers on smartphones. You should be able to either put it to your ear or use headphones. People who listen to music, watch videos out loud in public are the scum of the earth.